beautiful Pisces, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for July 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pertaining to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I'm using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your monthly reading for July. I can't believe we're here already. Where is the time going? Already blink and we are in Cancerian season. Well, you know, this is a time where your heart space will open, of course, to nurture close relationships and focus on the things you care about the most, as well as prioritize your self-care needs. And I'm not surprised that you are in your 11th house this month, and that's really going to be you focused on your friendship groups, being a bit more sociable than usual, but also you're going to be firmly locked onto the future. But also you have that 6th house influencing you there to make any of your dreams or goals become a reality. You're sticking to your plan and you're being consistent with it. But this is a month where things will take a softer approach. You know, July offers you an opportunity to really tap into your rich inner world and lean into your emotional landscape to cathartically assess where you feel secure and, of course, where you feel you could reinforce healthier boundaries. And also, if you're lucky enough to have time away, because this period does reinforce a desire to have a vacation or a staycation, or even find a moment to self, this is really going to help you recharge, refocus, but also it will remind you that there truly is no place like home. So this month will set you thinking. Where and who feels like home? Where do you feel like you belong right now? But most importantly, you'll be coming home to self with compassion to re-energize. So if you've been feeling a little bit detached from self recently, caught up in the busyness of life, or have even abandoned aspects of self to give unconditionally to others or to dreams and goals or projects, this month encourages you to reacquaint with self. Enjoy moments of stillness to connect to your higher self, but also to submerge yourself in hobbies or quality alone time. And let's not forget that my favorite planet, Jupiter, planet of good luck, expansion, and opportunities, will sit in the sign of Cancer, where it likes to sit. It gives ample kind of abundance in the sign of Cancer, and it'll be there until June 2026. Now, this will increase the opportunity for prosperity even despite these changeable environments or circumstances that we're all currently navigating. And anything that you truly care about, it will be given a boost of positivity. It's a time of heightened emotions where you honor rather than suppress feelings, so you may be a little bit more sensitive than usual. A reflective month where nostalgia could actually come knocking on your door, literally, to either make you smile or even plunge you into a deep healing process, to detach and let it go and let it flow. You know, this month is all about returning to happier times. And the full moon, it occurs in the sign of Capricorn from the 10th or the 11th of July, depending on where you are in the world world, of course, and this will make you review your work-life balance. That will be firmly on your mind. Now, work doesn't always mean a career, okay? It can mean that you're focused on your duties, responsibilities, projects. So with hard taskmaster Saturn, it will remind you to remain organized, get your projects, tasks, responsibilities done efficiently, and only then can you head out to play. But equally, if you've been working too hard and neglecting your personal needs, July asks you to find balance and space for fun. You owe it to yourself to find that balance, to feel truly fulfilled. Now, Mercury retrogrades from the 17th, so you may see, or some of you may see, a re-emergence of an ex, or even a reunion come in with a friend. But a lot of you will be returning to a project that you've been meaning to prioritize or get round to doing. I would also suggest, saving down any important documents, as Mercury retrogrades can interfere with the internet, app glitches, things like that, even power outages too, especially since we have some extreme solar flare activity this month. Now, there could also be delays in communication, so check your spam folder or, hard copy mail. But if there's something that's due in, I would say chase it, because this delay could mean that there was either a backlog or it's been forgotten because of the planetary shifts. And also, there could be misunderstandings. Always important to get everything in writing. Now, beautiful Venus, planet of love, nestles up to Uranus this month, reigniting that spark in existing relationships, whilst adding a spicy encounter for those who are single and they could suddenly meet the love of their life. This month, though, is more about home, roots. So, you may make a surprising purchase for your home, or suddenly revamp with DIY or declutter, reorganize, or even spontaneously create something yourself. Because right now in the water, I'm seeing two hands offering. So it feels like either something's been handmade or you're going to be offered something. Could be a gift, but it could be a surprise as well. So we'll get to that in a moment. But basically, you could also create something that beautifies your personal sanctuary. Cancerian season is always about feeling secure and connected to those that you hold dear. So your 11th house is going to make sure you connect to the people who are important to you. However, there are also energies outside of that to contend with this month. Uranus is a very unpredictable outer planet. Its middle name is plot twist, for it likes to disrupt the status quo. So some of you could see something being delayed or rescheduled, or perhaps you have to cancel something suddenly, last minute. But it also adds a revolutionary and often rebellious dynamic. And as we are in Cancerian season, it's important to tap into your inner compass to navigate any surprises. It's all about how you feel this month, so you may even surprise yourself with a sudden change of direction that may shock others around you too. Now, in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it, I completely understand there's a lot of challenging energy going on in this world at this moment in time, so fast forward until I hold up your first card if you don't wish to hear this part. That's when your tarot reading really starts. Now we have Saturn and Neptune, its stations, and then retrogrades, of course, these two planets, and they move back into your sign, my beautiful Pisces. So you may feel this the most personally, which basically means, no more dreaming about something. It's time to take action on it. So you'll be a little bit stricter with yourself there. But this is a very unique and very big deal. It's a very unique situation, and, it's also something that hasn't happened since the 1800s, shall we say. So this planetary movement, in terms of global events, because there are many different levels when it comes to energy, but in the past, this is significant with global changes, political upheavals, revolutions, and the dissolving of structures. So on a global scale, I have to give it to you straight, we're in for a bit of a bumpy ride astrologically over the next coming weeks and months. Now, I almost don't want to think about the chaotic energy swirling outwardly this month, because we've already seen what the might of Saturn can do, which is considered a cosmic bully, clashing with Neptune with such dynamism. We've already seen evidence of it throwing its weight around in June to chaotically push us towards creating new structures. And with the addition of unpredictable and unstable Uranus, this month may add a bit of a shock factor. And that will happen just before there is calm or resolution. Also, Uranus will leave the sign of Taurus, then dip into Gemini briefly. So we could see some radical shifts economically from now until a major climax in November. But personally, I'm keeping an eye on a particular alignment called Kal Sarp Dosha. It's often called the Dragon's Grip. And it's where 7 major planets align between Rahu and Ketu, the north and south nodes of the moon. Now, Rahu and Ketu are considered the dragon's head and tail. And my guides gave me this sentence when I was tapping into the energy. So, the strait from Tokyo to Indonesia, a midway point marks the spot. Java shall quake as the ridge doth rise. Now, I can't tell you if a major event will occur in this area in July or not. I'm not often given dates, but this is a chaotic alignment, and it will influence us all heavily until July 28th, okay? So it's something to watch out for. It can bring significant transformation in terms of landscapes, and of course, massive seismic and volcanic shifts. And we've already seen the Earth. It's been awakening and grumbling for the last year and a bit so far. I mean, it changes all the time, but we are seeing a little bit more of dormant landscapes starting to awaken there too. However, I want you to be aware with these volatile cosmic alignments and clashes that we've all been experiencing over the last couple of years, we are currently in Cancerian season, and that is a season that searches for peace in the chaos of turbulent times. It seeks to find understanding and resolution in uncertainty so that security can reign again once more. It will literally try to guide us home to peace and love, but it will of course have to work extra hard against these planetary shifts. And Saturn can always be reframed. Saturn is all about duty, and as we move through July and beyond, we all have a duty to passionately lead with light in our hearts and exact compassion and understanding. This is our world, and we have a right to live peacefully in it. So hold that vibration of peace, of love, and together we can shift the energy towards a world we desire to live in. And of course, as I mentioned, there's many different levels of energy. So on a personal level for you this month, it is a time to maintain and sustain, to find comfort in joy in the present moment, and of course to make changes that you want to see in your world, and lean into July as a respite before launching yourself forward towards accomplishing your goals with greater speed. Also, you'll have the help of Jupiter's great benevolence and support. So looking at the Hierophant as your starting position card, just want you to be aware I only take the uprights in the deck there. But this indicates that this is a month of, structure for you. This is about you being organized and being very productive. This can be that you're maintaining and sustaining something that you've already been working on, but also you're open to learning, because the Hierophant is all about new knowledge, but also knowledge that has been passed down from generation to generation, or even knowledge that you've already acquired and you're kind of like moving forward. You're making progress, but it may be a slower month for you. So if you have your own business, you may notice there's a lull in the industry. If you work in any industry, it can be that this is a time period where people take vacations. So there is like a slowdown of activity. Don't get me wrong, you're still doing stuff, but it can be that you're getting around to projects or tasks that you've put on hold and thought you'll do it when you're less busy. So it could be that you're reorganizing, decluttering at this time. And of course, the Hierophant is a card of having faith, because your 11th house is influencing you at this moment in time, and you're going to be really focused on your future. And this is about your goals, your dreams. But that's why I love that your 6th house is complementing that, because it means you're setting some sort of habit or ritual or routine in place to make sure that you are consistent in anything that you're working towards. I mean, the Hierophant is a structure that keeps you consistent. So a lot of you, because of that 6th house, you may feel, oh, same old thing, just a different day. But it's not a dull and boring house. It may feel like that sometimes. It doesn't mean nothing's happening. It just means that you're maintaining, your routines, your schedules. You're focused on work, paying bills. It can be that, a lot of you are looking at financial management at this time, or refining a goal, reviewing something, the real details of it, and even learning new skills. A lot of you could be upskilling or, learning a language for some of you with this energy. I'm getting a very strong Swords energy, I mean, the Eight of Swords can be that you're learning languages, but also it can be that you've hit a certain plateau, so you may source like an app or maybe an extra book, or, you know, download something extra that helps you move past a blockage when it comes to learning something. It literally says here, slow and steady progress. There's a lot of knowledge to be gained from this situation or from individuals. So a lot of you could actually meet a new person this month that will help you in your endeavors. I mean, there's an Empress energy here, but I feel a lot of you, this will be someone who is a feminine energy, or someone who's very charitable, someone who's very open in the knowledge that they share, the wisdom. So if you are in a career, this could be a great networking month to meet someone new. But also, if you're searching for your soul tribe or involving yourself in some sort of establishment, or you're attending something in the community, it can mean that you actually meet a person who's going to have a huge and, you know, monumental impact in your life, either a friend for life or someone who has knowledge that you acquire in order to make your dreams come true, okay? Because we have that Magician energy and we got the Death card energy there as well. I would say there's big changes for you at the end of July, but the beginning of the July, it keeps you kind of like focused on something or in a structure, a ritual, as it were. And a lot of you are deepening your faith this month as well, or your belief system or your life philosophy on something. You know, the Hierophant is all about tradition. So it can be that you're doing what you normally do, but you may involve yourself a little bit more in the community. But because your 11th house is there, you're focused firmly on a traditional way to make your dreams become a reality. But because of the nature of the energy here, it could be that there's a magical breakthrough that sees you have a bit of a plot twist and suddenly try another avenue to reach your goal. The goal is still the same. You still achieve that goal, but it can indicate that some of you feel like you've come as far as you can with a certain structure or a certain way of doing something. So you're trying to break free from that, because the Tower is to liberate yourself, and the Eight of Swords can indicate that you feel like you've got to a certain plateau. And this can be in life in general. It can be that you reach a certain end of a line on something. For some of you, I'm just seeing this in the water, and this is not going to resonate with everyone, but for some of you, it can be that you use a certain product all the time. You've used it for years, and suddenly they may discontinue this, and you may be like, no! But actually it points you in another direction to source something new. I feel some of you will find your usual product online, but it's been discontinued. It may be that someone has purchased it and they purchased too much, and they may like sell it on, for example. So you may get the last of the product online and like scoot them all up before finally it's completely over, and then you will find an alternative to the product that you use. Whatever this is, it's going to be different for everybody, and I feel this is going to be way better than the one before, so you kind of won't miss the previous product, okay? That's so random that that came through, but there we are. You know, the Hierophant is a commitment to learn more about yourself, what you're capable of, but also commit yourself to routines, you know, because a measure of success, you can be very, very talented, but consistency is the key. So you're dedicating yourself to something this month, you're really committed, and with that Queen of Cups, it's something that you love, okay? With that Queen of Cups, some of you, with the Hierophant, you're so ready to fall in love, okay? So it could be that suddenly, out of the blue, you have a magical exchange with a person, but so for a lot of you, it could be through a friend, is what I'm seeing with that Three of Pentacles there. It could be someone tries to set you up, or it could be an event that a friend invites you to. You could actually meet a person that you feel ready to fall in love with, or you kind of like see a future with. It's like a flash in your knowingness. You're like, whoa, this person's different. I want to know more, and vice versa. I feel like they want to get to know you too. However, you won't really start to discover each other properly until August, is what I'm seeing there. So it could be like a few text messages here, there, and then an organization of a date later on, is what I see there. But also, this Queen of Cups, you know, some of you are actually getting married this month. And if that's you, congratulations, because of course the Hierophant is the marriage card. So with that Five of Pentacles there, I'm getting an energy that someone And don't shoot the messenger when I say this, but there could be someone who's absent at your wedding if you are having a wedding this month. Not everyone, of course, is having a wedding, so congratulations to you. But I do see here there's someone who's absent, okay? And if this person is on the earthly plane, I feel, looking at the energy, they do have a good reason why not to be there, or they feel like they do have a good reason not to be there. But if this person is transitioned, they are in spirit, this person is making sure that they send you a sign on your day that they are present. Because I'm just getting this energy of like a roll call, like, I'm here, you know, so I'm getting that come through. Like, even though you may not see this person, you're going to get a sign from this person that says, I would not miss this for the world. Okay, so that's coming in very, very strongly. For some of you, you could be celebrating something with family. It doesn't have to be a wedding either. It can be a gathering of people to celebrate something, and there could be someone who is absent and you are lamenting the fact that they're absent, but there's going to be a sign. So if, for example, a little robin joins the ceremony or sits at the window or, you know, pops up there, I feel this is a sign that they are present. Please ask for a specific sign. I'm just being given a robin right now, robin redbreast. That's what I can see in the water. But, you know, ask for a specific sign. And also I'm seeing like a tree planted or a plant planted as well. So there could be something in and around that too. So again, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy. I'm only mentioning it because, of course, we have the Hierophant, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have a star for healing, and we have the Death card. So that can indicate someone lamenting or grieving at this time. Even if you're not having any sort of celebration, maybe you're having like a monumental moment to celebrate their life, I feel like they're present and they're going to show you a sign in July that they're around. Okay, so with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy and move forward. But the Queen of Cups, you know, Cancerian season is really going to affect you. This is about you kind of like really checking in with your goals, your dreams, and doing things that you really care about. This is about you romancing your life, deepening your imagination and your intuitive skills. Very artistic time, okay? I feel like you're going to be extra sensitive, but also there's this mystical, dreamy aspect here, and that's because of your 11th house. That's all about your manifestation skills. They're going to be stronger than usual. You know, the Queen of Cups always has a vessel to scry from. You know, there's a cup or some sort of samovar that has water in it, because cups are all about water. And, you know, I use one to scry. So that's about your visions. You are focused on your future and on your visions. But Five of Pentacles, there could be some doubt. Either you've had some sort of setback or you've had some sort of letdown or sadness there. This can indicate that a lot of you are aware of the things that you do not have at this moment in time. But the Tower and the Eight of Swords, especially since the Three of Pentacles and the Empress is there, it can indicate that something that you do not see coming will kind of like offer up a sudden change that feels at first a little bit like chaotic, but it offers you something that is much more positive, if that makes sense. I'm just going to pull a card on the Five of Pentacles. So also I'm being given this energy that if you're currently out of a job, you're currently searching for a role, whether you were made redundant or you were, you know, coming to the end of a contract, or perhaps you've just been seeking employment for some time. Five of Pentacles can indicate a worry about money, of course, and this can apply to everybody. Some of you can be just worried about money in general because economically things are very volatile right now and there's lots of redundancies going on. I mean, looking at the energy, I will pull a card on that Tower. I feel a lot of you with that Eight of Swords, you're protected. If you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, figure stands bound to the spot. So it feels like circumstances outside of yourself have kept you in a position where you're a little bit worried or nervous, but the swords are all around the figure. They're pointed down. There's no threat there. It is a card of protection whilst you're working out the next steps, as it were. And, you know, it can be that you found yourself in a difficult situation right now and you cannot see how things are going to change, but I feel that Tower, the Tower liberates you. It can be a shock that suddenly something else comes along. Your circumstances change, okay? So if you're currently looking for a role, a new opportunity, I mean, a lot of you are kind of like bubbling up with ideas to launch your own business, something that perhaps you're working on behind the scenes, and when you're ready to launch, you will. Could be revealing something. The star, healing. Yeah, I'm feeling this kind of like inspiration period where you're not just waiting on the sidelines, you're looking at things that you passionately want to explore, and a lot of you will set up your own business during this time, or set up some sort of idea that you're inspired by, and it is something that I feel, of course, is monumentally challenging. It's hard, but you care about it, and you're going to make a major breakthrough, and it's something that will be seen by a lot of people or really respected. So a lot of you are doing that at this time. Even if you're in a job, I feel a lot of you are inspired, or, you know, trying to illuminate some of your ideas and work on them to align with a goal or a wish, a financial one. A lot of you are healing money blocks at this time, but I feel if you're interviewing, I feel like you'll be seen for a role that is very prestigious. And I feel there's this family feel about it, okay? And what I mean by that is you may be in charge of a team, but the team love you. It can be that, you know, you're welcomed into a company where you feel like you could make an impact. So I do see here with the Empress, because this is to, you know, nurture a career. It is to flourish and thrive. And the Three of Pentacles, you know, this is normally promotion energy as well there, but I'll talk about promotion in a moment. Three of Pentacles can indicate a group, so it could be that you're managing a group, or, you know, you fit into an environment where people love you and you become the star of the moment. You solve a lot of their problems, for example. So I will say to you that there is a role coming on in, but it may come off the back of a disappointment or a setback. So it could be that you go up for two roles, and one of them you really want, you're like, oh, it didn't go your way. Or you may even like turn them down because, you know, it feels like something doesn't fit in one of the roles. And then the next one is the one that you're like, that's it. I'm glad I waited, or I'm glad I didn't get the other opportunity, because it feels like, you know, it helps you financially towards a foundation of money that you are desiring, and it gives you opportunity to increase and staircase money-wise later on, okay? If some of you are also in a working environment and hoping for promotion, I would say to a lot of you that there is one bubbling up, but it's not now. I feel like there's a bit of a wait here. Some of you with the Five of Pentacles, you may feel that perhaps things are at a level where it's a challenge. You know, you're working really hard. I feel there is a bit of a struggle in the working environment. You may lack tools, or you may feel there's a slowdown in productivity. You may also feel that people are giving you more work and the money is not reflected there. So I feel there's a longingness for something to change. And there may even be like a shock change. Yeah, 4-1 celebration. My guide said, you forgot one, you forgot one. I was like, what? I feel energy, and of course I picked up those cards there to highlight the star energy. Well, there's a Two of Cups there, which normally means some sort of proposal or contract, but the star was the one that came out for you. And the Four of Wands is celebration. It's also a coming together of creative ideas, really fitting in with people who get you, what you're about. Okay, so if you are looking for a role, a lot of you, I see you returning to work, because of course Four of Wands is to return to something that brings you a lot of joy, something that you can make your own, you know, creatively offer all your inspiration, and just, you know, really thrive in an environment that respects you and wants to help you reach your potential in your career. So I definitely see that happening there. And for those of you who are looking for a promotion, you're already in a role, I feel there's an energy of someone leaving first before opportunities get like divvied out, as it were. The Four of Wands, the star energy, it indicates that it will be revealed, but because your star energy is in the resistance position at first, I would say there's a little bit of a wait. So it could be in the works, as it were. Three of Pentacles, it's being discussed. You're being discussed for a promotion or some sort of new opportunity, but there's a structure, and I feel a process that has to be followed first. There's some change of guard or some change of management that you'll see in the next coming weeks. And the Four of Wands means that, you know, talk about promotion when people return. So it feels like someone maybe is on vacation, and when they return, then they can really set the ball rolling to offer this opportunity. But for some of you, I feel there is this yearning to return to either an industry or a way of working. And a lot of you will do something creative. Four of Wands is to, you know, creatively express yourself. So whatever industry you're in, Doesn't matter. It can be any role. You're going to have fun with it, but there are going to be some changes that offer you up more later on. But I would say the majority of you, this is a month where things kind of like maintain and sustain, okay? Where nothing radical changes until the end of the month there for you, okay? Now, Five of Pentacles, you're keeping a tight rein on your finances. I feel you are, looking at how you spend your money. Of course, there is an energy of emotional spending there too. It can be that you're going to treat yourself, so you're going to get things at a discount or quality that you like that is not as much money as you would normally pay for it. So I definitely see here that you're being really savvy with your finances. Some of you may even enlist some sort of help with financial structures, generational financial structures there as well. I mean, I'm going to pull a card on it. I hate to give you this message, but some of you may have a surprise bill in the month of July, okay? I'm being given an energy that you will replenish the money, okay? So it's not going to leave you stuck. You're protected from that, but it may surprise you. Let me see. The Lover's card. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide the Magician? Now, this could be someone you really care about made this purchase, okay? So it could be that someone overspent, or, I'm also being given this energy, and this is not going to resonate with all of you, but it can be that you purchase something and in error, they take the money twice, because we got the Gemini twins, and I'm just being given this energy of double, double, double. My guides are saying double, double. So it could be that you make a purchase that you love for yourself, and you get the item, and you love it, but you see on your statement they charge twice. So just keep an eye on your statements this month, because you could be like in error, charged twice for something, because I'm being shown with the Magician like to focus. Basically, there could be, sometimes the Magician can mean that there's something underhanded there, but with the Sun there present, I feel it's an honest mistake, and I feel like you get compensation. Okay, so that's coming through there as well. And if you make a purchase that perhaps you want to send back, there is an energy here that the person may offer you, of course, your money back, but they may be trying to get away with charging you for the postage. Okay, so if the item is faulty, or it's something that you have within your rights to send back because it's not what you're hoping for, you can challenge that. Okay, and I feel that you may have to pursue it, because they will be very stubborn, but you may have to go to a higher governing body, to actually get it back. So if you purchase from a certain social media platform, or some sort of company that's well known, you'll have to go through a procedure. Don't give up. You'll get your money back, okay? So if they're trying to, underhandedly say, oh, I'll just take that, just be mindful of that, because yeah, I'll leave it there, okay? Five of Pentacles, this is an energy of void, okay? So it can indicate that you feel challenged right now, you're drained. This is an energy of feeling like exhausted, that there's a deficiency. And because we have the Queen of Cups there, a lot of you paying close attention to hydration, but because you have that Empress energy in the resistance position, okay, at first, it will go into the upright. Some of you may notice that your hormones have been a little bit off, or, you feel extra exhausted a little bit more than usual. That Five of Pentacles, it could be that you identify that there is a vitamin deficiency, because earthy energy tends to connect to vitamins, and because Five of Pentacles can be a deficiency, it can be that, you speak to, your medical practitioner to give you advice on that. So I would say you will heal. A lot of you are healing this month, or you are kind of like realigning something in your body, okay? So I feel this is you coming back to best. You're nurturing yourself in a different way, especially with your sixth house. That's you focused on your health, your diet, exercise routine, daily rituals. So if you have experienced some level of excess over the last month or so, whether that's overspending or whether that is overindulging, because that Five of Pentacles can connect to that, it means with that Hierophant, you're being stricter with yourself now. You're reining yourself back in and saying, okay, I'm getting back on track, okay? Now, the Star energy, it's in the resistance position. A lot of you have been tested recently. I mean, some of you may literally have a test or an interview for something or an important meeting for something there. And the Five of Pentacles can indicate a little bit of doubt. You're feeling a bit sensitive about this, but I see that you pass a test. You even shock yourself. But the Eight of Swords, you know, I'm going to pull a card on that because the Eight of Swords indicates that you have the knowledge, but you just don't see it. You know, it's the same with this Empress energy. It can indicate that you're a very attractive person. You have a lot of gravitas and magnetism, but you don't see it. And I feel like you're aligning yourself to magnetize opportunities towards you because your 11th house is all about that vibration of manifestation, and it's stronger than usual. Set your intention and watch the universe deliver people and opportunities to help you. So with the energy, especially with the Eight of Swords, you may be trying to manage intrusive thoughts at this time and watch how any doubt comes in just before you're about to do something monumental and exciting, where you're about to reach an achievement. Suddenly the intrusive thoughts come in and go, well, what if I fail? So a lot of you could be shining a spotlight on how you think about yourself and build yourself up in confidence, especially if you're going for an important test or meeting or even an interview. Five of Pentacles, especially when it comes to an interview, this is you kind of acknowledging what you have that other people do not have. So a lot of you nurturing yourself because you're exhausted. Self-care needs, of course, there. In the Star, if you're feeling unappreciated or overlooked in some way in your life, July puts you in the spotlight because middle of the month, this card goes into the upright, which means you're aligned with a goal, a dream, or a wish. Something that you do not see coming surprises you, okay? So let me just pull a quick card with that Tower and that Eight of Swords, because the Star energy indicates something being revealed. And that, Tower energy can be that it's a surprise or it helps you break free. Because these two cards, Sixth house means you're locked into routine. You may feel it's the same old thing, just a different day, but the Tower and the Eight of Swords, it can indicate a liberation from a point where you feel you cannot go no further. It can indicate you've reached your limit on something, whether that's you're highly pressurized, under stress, or you're completely exhausted, or even you need to draw a line in the sand and say, this is my boundary, don't cross it, or step up or step out. Whatever it is, I feel like you've reached a level where you've had enough and now you're having a breakthrough moment. Pressure can be a shaper of worlds. When we're comfortable as humans, we stay where we are because we kind of like where we're at. But if you're striving for more, sometimes that pressure can kickstart you into action and say, look, I've had enough of my own excuses. I'm going to start something now. I'm going to liberate myself out of this funk. I'm going to just do something about it. So I just need to see what this is for you because the Magician is there, which means manifestation. It feels like something you think about that you almost think never in a million years will this happen in July. It just feels like it does. Okay. Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is, something connected to your plans. It is something that you've been engineering for some time. It could be a project. It could be an opportunity to showcase your talent. It could be that you're consulting with someone or headhunted in some way, or that you're inspired and suddenly all the knowledge that you require in order to move forward on a project, or, some of you could be installing something in your home and suddenly the opportunity to get it done free of charge, or with like limited resources. It just happens. You got the Three of Wands, which is all about future, and your 11th house is all about your future. So it feels like something happens that's monumental in July for you that shows a brighter future lies ahead, or that your plans are starting to take shape, that you're aligned with your heart's desire, and that you're on the right path. So if you've been searching for a sign, July is going to give you that sign that you're heading in the right direction. That's what I'm seeing there. 2 threes, double threes. Just be mindful. You've also got a 3 here, so it feels that which you feel like you don't have. It could be a piece of information, it could be a resource, something that would help complete a plan or help you move forward as a milestone. It's going to be delivered, okay? But how it shows up, it's like you're aware it's going to happen, but somehow it feels like you get it later on. So it could be that you receive good news, and then that good news, if it is an opportunity, it means you get it later on, like end of July or August time, or you sign a contract, or you win an award, or you know, it feels like you get the news that it's going to happen and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised. And that surprise is coming from the fact that, you know, you need to have a little bit more confidence in yourself and your skills. So you're awesome at what you do, and you're going to like break through like some doubt, because the Five of Pentacles is there and you're breaking out of this energy. Three of Wands indicates that, you know, opportunities are coming in and that you're aligning yourself with your dreams, your wishes. There's success through being in the right place at the right time. This is a card of visionary planning. It's like your dreams, your ideas, they become a reality. It's also a healing card, so it could be that, you know, a lot of you may hear from a person in your present moment that you lost touch with, and it's a very healing, cathartic experience. I'm just being given this, and this is not going to resonate with all of you, because your 11th house and Cancerian season and 6th house, if that's like a whole hot pot of ingredients, that can indicate that some of you, not all of you of course, but may have been looking into your family lineage with that Hierophant. That's all about family structures, and it could be that you discover like a long lost relative, for example, and then suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, they don't live too far away, or suddenly, oh my gosh, I'm in touch with this person, and now you can have a relationship with this person in the future. You know, you can have a friendship, or they can be an extension of your family, come back into the fold, as it were. So this can be a period where that happens. So that's not going to resonate with all of you, but that's something that's just come in there, so I have to acknowledge it. Whatever this surprise is, it sets you free. It's connected to your plans, and it helps you move forward. Three of Wands is to pay attention, to be aware, because there's an opportunity that perhaps you want to grab with both hands that sets you up for the future coming on in here. Three of Wands is so positive when it's with a Three of Pentacles. It indicates that you are solidifying plans. It means that, you know, there's going to be early success in something, and then there's more to expand on. So if you run your own business, for example, it could be that things pick up pace at the end of the month there for you, and suddenly, you know, word of mouth, people are coming in wanting your product, you're extra busy, and you're really surprised. You're like, wow, this like came out of the blue. But I feel also I am being given an energy of something from your past. This could be financial, like a tax rebate or a royalty or something from your past that you'd invested in suddenly matures and gives you more. I don't know what that could be, but it could be like, I don't know anything about bonds, or, you know, I don't know anything about these things, but it could be something you invested in that matures and has a higher rate. Or it could be that you've invested in some sort of precious metal, for example, because I'm seeing bars of gold in the water right now. And it could be that things have a climactic kind of response to this precious metal, and it could be that it has a bit of a wobble, maybe like a dip, for example, or a plateau, and then suddenly there's a climax. Suddenly it goes even higher than before. I'm going to leave that there because I feel that doesn't resonate with all of you. I mean, you know, I'm not someone out there who's like sitting there with bars of gold or investing in gold myself, so I don't know anything about that, but it could be something that's relevant to somebody out there because of it coming up in the water. But also, I mean, gold can be about value, valuing yourself in opportunity. It can be that something's offered to you and you're like conserving yourself for something more. You may be offered something and you feel, you know what, that's not for me. That's not enough. And, you know, you deserve more. So you are holding your true value and saying, I'm waiting for the right opportunity, and that's not it. I'm not going to sell myself short, okay? Because we have that Empress energy, and that, of course, is about value. So a lot of you have been neglecting your own needs, so this month tends to be a lull month where people take a vacation, or a lot of you with that Three of Wands, there could be an energy where there is some sort of reschedule on travel, or for a lot of you, if you are taking a vacation, there could be some sort of surprise going on with that vacation, and it may be a monumental delay, and you get compensation that ultimately kind of like pays for the trip, but you'd rather have your time, for example. So I am also picking up on that there too. But Three of Pentacles, I feel this is things taking shape for you. Three of Pentacles, you are taking ownership for your plans, and I feel like you're super organized, you're being mindful of the next steps, and a lot of you, there's invitations to spend quality time with social groups. So I feel there is this energy of meeting, you know, a friend for life, but also meeting someone from your past. And this could surprise you that the universe has brought you together in some way. Three of Pentacles can be people, of course, but more than anything, I feel a lot of you could be consulting with someone in order to make some repairs in the working environment. I mean, there could be this energy as well. As I said, this shock bill thing. Some of you may have something break down with that tower in July, and a friend could recommend someone who does a really great job for like less money. I mean, for some of you, a friend could even do you a favor and fix it for free, is what I'm seeing there as well, okay? Empress energy, this is you maintaining something that you're like nurturing towards success. I feel like you're very productive. I definitely see here that you're focused on your goals, and whatever it is that you are working towards, it will be very successful, but I feel there is a change in it, an unexpected change. And at first it feels like an upheaval or even a blip, but actually it sets you free. It helps you. It works in your favor. Okay, so this could be that I don't want to say something falls through, because that's not how I'm feeling in the energy. I don't feel something falls through, but I do feel there's a change. Can you show me this change? Ace of Wands. So this is an opportunity. It could be something comes left field with that Ace of Wands, the opportunity of a new start or a new creative idea, or, you know, there's a breakthrough here. Aces are transformative, especially an Ace of Wands. This can be like the urge to transform, change. I feel it comes from you, but also it feels like a bit of a plot twist. So you may actually kind of suddenly, spontaneously decide a different direction, and then something works out. I feel like the goal is still the same. You are still reaching that pinnacle point of where you desire to be. A lot of you as well with this Ace of Wands can be chemistry between you and a person, okay, that someone finds you very, very attractive. Some of you may actually have a friend reveal their feelings for you as well. So that's something that you will navigate. It may shock you. You may not have seen this coming, but they have a lot of feeling for you, and if you're at a party or an event, this person could really like open up and reveal how they feel. But the Ace of Wands, for the majority of you, I feel this transformation or this sudden new ingredient or new information, it helps you. It's like a new venture. I mean, some of you could launch something. This is you in your primal power, a very dynamic time to be inspired, and the energy is working for you. It could be a phone call, a letter, something that comes through that changes everything, and now you have to sit with making a decision. And at first, some of you may feel you're kind of stuck in having to make this decision, like you're sitting on the fence of something. But I feel like, you know, work your magic, do your thing, because this is sent to help you, not hinder you, okay? Now, of course, the Death card is there, so a lot of you are focused on endings of things. So you may be looking at expiry dates, contracts, service providers, visas, passports, important documents. You may be focused on the administrative tasks because your 6th house is influencing you at the end of the month there. But it does say here, change is occurring after a period of difficulty, and the 5 of Pentacles is your period of difficulty or shortages or worry about something. It means, you know, it's the end of that. It literally says down here, the beginning of a time of relief. Okay, so whatever it is, it sets you free. And this tower is working for you. I often say that a tower, it's not negative. It is a shock. You know, it can be a rebuilding of something. It can be, you know, you being a tower of power to navigate changes. But ultimately, it means that if you've been stuck in a same situation where you've been going round and round in circles and you've been accepting things as they are, it can be that this month something develops where you kind of like liberate yourself, because the tower sees like higher vibrations enter the mix. And as we are in Cancerian season, it means you are highly intuitive. This means you're leaning into your emotions, your intuition, your psychic abilities there, and there is a knowingness. And you may call something in or suddenly just know that change is afoot, and it brings relief there. So I feel this sudden kind of like opportunity. Like, as I was saying, the vibrations are higher when you get a tower. It's like a bolt from the blue, something rare happening there for you. And if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, two figures leap out of the tower. They take a leap of faith. Why? Because the tower is now on fire, and the tower can represent comfortableness, if that's even a word. It can be that you build a structure where we get locked into a cycle of repeat, and we like comfort as humans. We like to know where we're at, but sometimes we feel a little bit stuck in a rut, and the sixth house there can make you feel like you want to break free, you want to break out of something. So the tower, here with this magician can be that something magical occurs in order to break you free from a structure that feels like it's held you rooted to a spot. So, for example, if you're in a working environment and you feel like you've hit a financial plateau, you can't go any further in the company that you're in, it can indicate that you are deciding to reach out to alternative options. Some of you may even hear from a friend of yours that an alternative opportunity is available, and you may go for an interview behind the scenes, get that job, and then shock your boss that you're leaving. It can be that suddenly, you've been offered something that gives you more money, more status with that Empress energy. For some of you, you could shock people around you because you're giving in your notice in July to say, you know what, I'm running my own business now. Some of you may even become a consultant, or you're utilizing your knowledge in order to structure something. A lot of you, with the energy, especially with the Eight of Swords, you could be creating something, because this is a highly creative card. It's like a burst of energy there. You could create something that you could automate. With that Eight of Swords. Swords are connected to the internet, the ether, and this can indicate, it's something that is like hands-free, as it were, because normally on the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the figure, they are not connected to the swords. So it's like something around you. It's something that you don't need to manage all the time. So it could be that you're thinking about going into real estate, or you're thinking about getting something up online that people download, like your knowledge. Some of you could write a book, for example, that helps you increase your finances, or you could get a course of learning up online and people can download that course, and it kind of sets you free. It frees up your time. It frees you up so you can be more nomadic in your working environment. Or, I feel a lot of you are trying to get something automated there as well. Now also on a personal level, because you are focused on health this month with that sixth house and that Empress energy, some of you may go for an eye test, okay? A lot of you may notice some changes in your prescription when it comes to eye tests. I mean, it could be offered through work as well, but I feel this energy of pressure, especially with the tower. This can be that you're under a lot of pressure or stress, and you may note that it has affected your eyes, or even like given you like migraines, things like that, or even, migraines are the headache in your kind of like frontal face, kind of like around the eyes and everything like that. It feels like a stress headache or something like that. So some of you, I'm being given this energy of like identifying a root cause, or even being able to manage this better, okay? I mean, also I have to acknowledge that the tower can be a surprise, okay? Something that really rocks your foundation. But because we've got the Magician there, and we've also got a card, the Death card, that says the beginning of a time of relief. So that is a relief from tension headaches, a relief from struggle, a relief from worry. It feels like whatever it is you've been, anxious about, this is a period of the universe offering you alternatives or solutions to problems, okay? And it says here, step into your personal power with confidence. Do your magic. Be you. That is your superpower. The Magician card indicates your focus. If your focus is worry, you're going to attract more things to be worried about. If your focus is excitement, then more exciting things are going to come your way. So I feel a lot of you are holding true to your vision. Yes, there's a little bit of worry because you care so much about whatever it is that you want to achieve, but this is turning worries or fear into potential and possibility. And I feel this tower helps you break free. It is a positive omen here for you. I mean, I feel the Tower is more of a tower of power, as it were. And yes, a lot of you are managing stress levels this month. The Eight of Swords can indicate that you have felt bound to the spot because of circumstances outside of yourself. But I feel here that something magical will occur, like divine intervention, to help you break free there. I mean, some of you, Eight of Swords, it can be that you have been held back by thoughts, intrusive thoughts. For some of you, it can be that someone is jealous of you and, said something negative to try to hold you back in some way, and you're releasing yourself from that. The Tower is to free oneself from a situation that bound you to the spot. So I'm just going to pull final cards on this before I move forward, because, of course, there can be a monumental kind of surprise that rocks your foundations, as I was saying there. A lot of you, it is a pleasant one, but, Queen of Wands, Eight of Cups. I mean, it could be that you hear about someone going through something, because there's two queens here. So it could be, well, there's an Empress energy as well. So there could be a group here where there is a surprise or shock in a group. This could be that one of your friends are pregnant. It can be also that perhaps one of your friends are getting divorced. Or perhaps there is some sort of shock going on in a group of people. It feels like friends rather than family, but it could be Eight of Cups. A lot of you, it can be that you are deciding to shock people by going in a different direction. I mean, you're not setting out to shock. It feels like you may shock the people because you're deciding to do something different, like a plot twist in your life. Eight of Cups, you're walking away from something that doesn't serve you or isn't feeling right anymore. And the Queen of Wands is to follow your passions. It's to lead where your heart is yearning to right now. It indicates you're magnetic. Also, I feel with that Eight of Cups, a lot of you are looking at yourself in a different way. The Queen of Wands and the Empress, they are cards that highlight that you are so attractive, but you may not see this within yourself. So if you've been honoring your self-care rituals and routines, suddenly you see a difference and you look at yourself in a different way. You're having a glow up. That's what the Eight of Wands is. So having that glow up means you can walk away from anything that, doesn't deserve your time or isn't favorable to your onward path. I mean, a lot of you are having the courage to either restart, change direction, transition, or even travel to new places or do things that you haven't done before. You're coming out of a comfort zone with that Tower energy, and I feel like you've been in one spot for some time and now you're reaching for something more, okay? And this month could be the planning stages of that or getting the knowledge on that for your visions of the future. So it's like you're asking yourself, okay, I am where I am right now. This is July. Where do I want life to go next? You're holding that vision and you are putting in necessary steps to make that vision become a reality, and you shall achieve it. You're going to have some monumental breakthroughs this month. Independent, going your own way. Some of you may break away from a group of people to do your own thing. Some of those people may not understand the path that you're taking right now, but that's okay because it's your life. Also, some of you may create an independent business, or you may feel like you've been hanging out with a certain group of people for some time and it's wonderful, but now you need to focus on something without distractions. So you're just stepping away momentarily. It may shock people. You may turn people down when it comes to going to events, for example, because you feel, it's not something I'm interested in anymore. So I feel like you're feeling your way through this month. So we got independent. Cats are always very discerning about the places they frequent or who they interact with. So this could be your energy. If anyone's draining you, you're stepping away from them. You're teaching them a lesson. You're saying, I'm sorry, but you're always negative. Now, of course, you're a good friend with that Queen of Cups. You're always offering unconditional love. But you may be looking at some of your behavior and saying, okay, I'm always there for this person, and they always seem to be the same. And it feels like I can't help that person. So some of you may be going, am I enabling their behavior? And if you feel like you're enabling, you may step away. And that may shock them. But it means that they have to find their way out of a situation because you've tried to help them. But, in reality, we can only truly help ourselves and lean into friendships for support. So it says here, it's time to strike out on your own. So I really feel that, because the Three of Pentacles, it's in the resistance position at first, so it really means that whatever it is you're doing, it feels like you're doing it alone, you're self-made, and have confidence because you've come a long way. And of course, that Five of Pentacles can indicate there's something that you feel like you lack right now or you don't have right now, but I feel like you're moving out of that, and that which you feel like you don't have, you shall have it, because you're making the necessary steps to make it your reality. But it says here, it's time to strike out on your own and rise to the challenge. You are more powerful than you know. That is a Tower of Power. And it says free, detached, and uncommitted. So that's definitely what I see there. I mean, some of you may be going through a separation, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there if that's you. You're going through a healing process. But I do see you enjoying this freedom from this experience. You learned a lot of lessons in that relationship, and it may make you really sad, or you may lament what happened there. There's an energy of worry about the next steps, but actually I feel like you're going to enjoy and connect to love further down the line when you feel ready. A lot of you also may feel that you're left out in groups of friendships right now, or you feel somehow you're on the outside looking in. Especially when it comes to the Hierophant, that's an establishment. So some of you may feel like you're like forgotten about when it comes to establishments. Like, for example, lots of rules and regulations are changing at this present moment in time when it comes to governmental structures. And you may feel that they are penalizing your particular demographic, for example, and you feel that opportunities are not so readily available, or you feel that there are challenges, and I feel like you're going to overcome them and see some radical U-turns or resets on that as well that end up being positive long term. But I feel like you got to go through it before that happens, if you know what I mean. So we've got hidden secrets. Okay, so that did come up briefly. It could be a secret there where either a friend is pregnant, or there is some sort of separation, or you may even have a hunch about this and find out that you knew the secret all along. But it says here, careful of superficial appearances or making decisions without all the facts. Act with the discernment, unseen, sly approach, and careful. Okay, so I mean, looking at the energy, I don't see anything negative there, but it could be that someone shocks you there, okay? I didn't see it in your reading, but I would always be discerning about the company you keep. That did come up. I would say also any new ideas, keep them to yourself, or patent them, copyright them when you're ready to reveal them, trademark them, things like that. But we've also got survival. So this is a wolf, and a wolf is independent. So I feel this could be you taking a path that perhaps is different from other people. It could be that you are thinking about your journey right now. And of course, I feel there is a mindset change here, because it says time to reset your mindset to thrive and let go of old coping mechanisms that are keeping you at the status quo. I mean, that is kind of what came out in your reading as well, because Five of Pentacles is a struggle. Now, the struggle is real, okay? I'm not here to tell you that it's not, because we're all going through something right now, and collectively, but also independently, we're all going through something similar but also different, and people's challenges are going to be different, but it's challenged nonetheless. But I feel this energy is that you are managing coping systems, as it were, and now you're going to get something from the universe that kind of gives you respite or relief. It says here fears, pressure, coping, stress, and a lot of that did come out. But as you can see with the two overarching energy cards there, I feel like there is something that helps you not be in fight or flight mode, or gives you the relief that you need in the situation that you're in. So whatever it is you're manifesting, remember your 11th house is your vision, and your 6th house is the plan. And this month, the two align, which help you create whatever it is you desire for the future for stability, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune. Okay, so finally we have the butterfly. So yes, change is upon you, and a lot of you are like, you're so fed up of changes all the time. Why do you always have to change? But this change is going to set you free. A lot of the time, people, they create tarot decks, of course, and the Tower tends to have a lot of butterflies on it. I mean, the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot one does not, but butterflies often come out of the Tower, indicating that there is a monumental change. If you think about the caterpillar, that's the status quo. It goes on, you know, a certain path, and then suddenly it goes into the chrysalis. It dissolves its sense of self. So some of you may be feeling that you're lamenting some part of yourself right now, or you feel a little bit lost or drifting in July. You're deeply reflective and very thoughtful, philosophical with that 11th house about your next steps. But you're about to have a monumental change that gives you wings. So I really feel that this is a nice breakthrough there, but I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you've been going through something challenging. I mean, whenever you want to achieve something, there's always challenge. And because you care so much about it, it's going to add extra stress and pressure. But I feel like whatever it is you're building, because that Tower is a structure, it is something you're building, whether it's financial, whether it's security, whether it's your home. I mean, this could also mean some sort of like interference. Like if you're trying to focus on something, Eight of Swords can be like you're trying to protect yourself because you're working on a project and you don't want any distractions, and then suddenly your neighbor is doing DIY and it's so loud, or outside there's some sort of loud building work going on and you're like, can I catch a break? I just want a moment's peace, a little bit of silence. But I feel there is this energy of whatever you're going through personally, this transformation, it sets you free in a positive way. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. My beautiful Pisceans, thank you so much, and love and light.